So like just to be perfectly honest with you, I had some
Hmm.
disposable income and
Sure.
I like your content and I like have been playing Overwatch really hard lately, so like I was like it's just something I wanted to do kind of for fun, but like not that I don't think I'm not going to get anything out of it or anything. I just I kind of already know what I need to work on and like I I sort of thought that like maybe I would have figured some of it out by the time like the coaching came in, but um I've been playing a lot of Tracer, and she's just like super, super hard. So like, it's just like
Yeah.
this. Her skill curve is just like slowing me down like a lot more than I thought it would. Because I used to play
Yeah.
Soldier,
Yeah.
and like my skill curve like improvement on Soldier was like really, really easy. Like it was just like I just like once I started hitting more helixes and not like doing stupid stuff, like I just started like just like climbing really hard. But
Yeah.
uh, I enjoy Tracer more, so
Yeah.
I've been trying
Okay.
to like play it more.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You want to improve game sense and general Overwatch IQ, but like you said, you're not like super, 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 super focused in on ranking up. You're not even sure if that's like something you're going to be able to do. Um,
Right.
but in the meantime, you're just going to play. You're going to see what you could do specifically with Tracer, and we'll go from there.
Hmm.
Now, prior to Tracer, I'm looking at your hero pool here. You're kind of more of a flex player. Is that the case?
Yeah, so like I said, I thought I like would have maybe figured some stuff. Okay, so like when I signed up for this coaching was like at the beginning of the last season, I think. And then I was already like 2800 on Soldier, and all I wanted to do was get Diamond on DPS. So like I was like I'm pretty close. Like I'll probably be able to get it next season. I might even be Diamond by the time the coaching happens. So like I'll just put like my entire hero pool on there just in case I'd swapped roles by then. Because
Yeah.
once I get Diamond on DPS, I'm gonna move on to like probably tank just because the queue times are faster.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Um,
Sounds good. Yeah. All right. Meantime, so tank you said primarily, but in the meantime, just tracer, just as a kind of
Yeah, so it's
a
right
one time
just
see how it goes.
my pool right now, like right now is Tracer and then Soldier and Reaper are like my like kind of map specific like or I'm just getting wrecked on Tracer and I need to not like throw this game like kind of thing. Like
Got
they
it.
already swapped like Brig, Cassidy and Kiriko and you know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then when you play those characters, I guess the question would be like, when do outside of the situation that you just described, when do you see Soldier Reaper being played, and how
okay, so
often is that the case?
Soldier is like pretty map specific. It's mostly on like Widow type maps where it like I just get outranged by everything and like they already have like dummy like hit scans and stuff and it just takes so much work to get to the right angle on Tracer
Yeah.
and
Makes
you have to
sense.
play like really patient and like wait for your team to like like get be close enough to like support you and like it's just like really hard. And if there's a Widow that's like popping off like I feel responsible. Like I know it's not necessarily my like duty, like as a flanker, like it is, but like if she's on, if it's Junkertown and she's like a mile across the map and she just like headshotting everybody, there's not really much I can do about it. Like I kind of have to play on the ground and just like sort of like have like effects outside of her. But like it would be nice to like, it is nice to like be able to play soldier and at least have like some sort of like competitive like range thing going on. Even
Yeah.
though
It
like
makes
I don't think
sense.
soldier necessarily does like too much better against Widow, but.
Yeah, yeah, but I understand what you're saying. Like maybe it's just better to rotate in the situation. But like I guess how often do you feel like that happens? Like do you have your career profile pulled up right now? Might be interested to look at that.
No. What are there map specific stats on it?
No, but you could just look at like total hours played. You know what I'm saying this season, like of Tracer compared to Soldier and Reaper.
Oh, so in the past month, it's been a lot more Tracer. Yeah, so last season it's 10 hours on Tracer, 6 on Soldier, and then almost no Reaper. Reaper's kind of like a recent development. I know like it's not great to play like too many different heroes, but like Reaper's like just baby goo goo gaga like easy mode. Like it
Okay.
just I play him like almost like I play Tracer, but like just like slightly a little bit more like stand and deliver. Like I just kind of try
Yeah,
to
yeah,
hold
absolutely.
like really good like flanks and whatnot. Not
Yeah.
necessarily like go on flanks, but like just hold like good spots and just
Okay.
like be like really hard to force out.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Basically, I guess like you said that you're not super serious like about this, and you just want to kind of like let it go and see how it goes.
mhm.
Obviously, like with your play schedule being pretty top heavy with Saturday, being more casual with it.
I've been playing more during. Sorry to cut you off. I've been
No,
playing
no,
more during
fine.
the week here
Okay.
recently, like since then. So it's probably I think I put 10 hours a week on there. It's probably more like 20 now. I probably
Okay.
play like about 2 hours a day during the week, and then over the weekend another like 5 to 10 hours or something like that. So
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Goal is to try to get to diamond in every role and improve new map and hero knowledge in the short term. Okay, I feel like nothing is really holding me back. At the moment, I think of improvingly decently. I want coaching to potentially accelerate that process and to support spend time with one of your favorite creators. I appreciate that. So, with Tracer, which I assume is what we're looking at today.
yeah, actually, like I got caught up yesterday. I got busy and I wanted to play a bunch yesterday to just try and like get some good like model games or whatever, but I didn't have time. So I played a bunch this morning, but I was kind of being like an idiot just because like I knew like it was gonna get reviewed and like it was just like influencing my like decision making a little bit, I think. So I was like I was like over trying, I think, but
Yeah,
there's
I
still
got
like
you.
relatively. I have 3 replays like I thought were pretty good. 2 of them I won, but I didn't really think it was because of me. I think I kind of got carried a little bit. And then one of them was a loss on Parisa, which is just a map that I like hate playing
Yeah,
Tracer on like
yeah,
so much. Like
a
I don't
lot of
know if other
verticality.
people struggle
Yeah,
with it, but like
they
I
do.
just like it is so hard. My win rate on Parisa has got to be like 20% or something. It is like just awful.
Yep, yep. I mean, she's
I
hard.
usually end up playing Soldier on it, but then like I kind of like I'll play Soldier and it's like, well, I still can't find a good angle, so it's like I'd almost rather be Tracer just to be able to get to an angle I want to be at, and it's just the whole thing.
Okay, okay, makes sense. What I would recommend is just, well, I guess we can take a little look at it. Not in a big deal. We'll talk a little bit in a little bit. But I will say that maps with a lot of verticality, you're going to have some issues with. So you're going to have to be a little more creative about how you approach those fights. Now, I want to talk about what you feel like you're struggling to implement or you're struggling to improve at with Tracer, or what you feel like your shortcomings are with specifically Tracer. What comes to mind?
So like I'm definitely like super greedy. Like I'm mechanically like I think I'm mechanically like pretty decent, even though like for a long time I didn't think. Okay, so I a long time ago like I played this game since like beta. So but I
Mm-hmm.
took like a long break in between 1 and 2, and several breaks in like when break came out, I just like dropped the game for like a year.
Okay.
Um, because I used to really like dive, and I was actually like a diamond tracer one trick on console for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
seasons like 2 and 3. But I don't know if you played like way back then, but like Tracer was just like super broken. Like her pulse bomb was just like you just like delete tanks, and like it was just crazy. Like she just was nuts. And so like I did know how to play Tracer for a long time, but in the new game and the new environment and all that stuff, it's just like a whole different like ball game. It feels and I get like really greedy, like with my recall specifically. I would say like it's just something I just always recall too late. Like I'll find myself dying with my finger on E like so much, and it's just like and my best games that I play, I found is like I was like recalling a lot. Like I just like would just hit it at like half HP. Like you know how like she kind of inhales like when you take like a
Yeah.
burst, like or
Yeah.
I think it's when you get below
She gets
half.
low. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like the games where I just slap like recall as soon as I hear that, like I like survive forever and I just like never die and just like win the game, like just
Sure.
because but like I get in these modes where like it feels like I have to carry for whatever reason. Like I feel like my team's mad at me, like my stats don't look good or something like that, and it's just like, oh man, I better start like making something happen, and I start going for like more and more like deeper flanks, and I get overextended, and then you know what I mean, and I try to like
Yeah.
greed
I
people
know
because I
exactly
think
what
I'm
you
better
mean.
than them, and
Yeah, I
it is
mean, I
what it
know
is.
exactly what you mean, and I think that that's like a really important recognition from you. Is like the situations where like your urgency to feel like I need to do what I need to do is ironically what causes you to perform worse.
Hmm.
And I think that's a good reminder, right? Like when we're talking about like what improvement usually looks like, a lot of it really revolves around just patience, right? Willingness to
Hmm.
trust the process of what you're doing and not feeling like you need to do something and do something now. It's like you'll get there, just trust the process. So, I mean, that's easier said than done, right? Like it's easier said to just don't care what other people think or don't worry about if you're underperforming a little bit but I think at the same time, you do need to have that mentality as best as you possibly can. You need to at least work towards that mentality. Because at some point, it needs to become something for you to consider. Because if you look at things even from a perspective of, I'm not necessarily trying to rank up, but I just want to enjoy like playing things more. Like that also steals your enjoyment of what you're doing too. You get what
Right.
I'm saying? Like it's not fun to feel like I'm underperforming and feeling like I have to overperform. So I think like addressing that mentality shift for you, regardless of what you're doing, probably would be very helpful, if that makes
Hmm.
sense.
And here lately, I've just been playing with like no communication whatsoever. I just turn
Sure.
voice chat off. No, I'm not in the chat at all, and I turn text chat off, and it's like just nothing. Like
Sure. Sure.
if I
Okay.
have a good game, I'll turn it on at the very end and say GG, but that's it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Okay, okay. Well, I like again. I'll just encourage you to be very patient with how you're approaching those things. And whenever you feel like you need to, oh, I need to step up, we need to perform. Remember, that's going to not necessarily make you play better, and it's certainly not going to make you enjoy what you're doing more either. Be patient. Trust the process. If you have a bad game, you have a bad game. You don't turn it around by gritting your teeth. The best way to, I think, to like, you ever played mini golf before? You ever played golf before?
A little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Like I always notice like whenever I'm like just casually playing for fun, feeling like, oh, I'm missing all these shots and trying to like, I gotta really like grit my teeth. And no, it's like it's a finesse. Either it happens or it doesn't. And if you try to force it, you just make the problem worse. And I think like that's like the key thing for you. And also makes it a lot less fun too. So be patient, and develop the ability to kind of just relax. Don't worry too much about it. Okay. Sleep looks good. We're going to take a look at your play on different maps. I don't really have any other questions from your forum. Do you have any other questions from me?
No, sir.
Okay, we can take a look if you'd like to. Shoot me a code.
Heck yeah. I did want to throw in like I do play tennis though. Like I think tennis is
That's great. That's great. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Another very finesse oriented
mental.
support. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the
very,
more
like one-on-one, like kind of like you're always like in contact with like
Yes.
the objective. You know what I mean? So it's just
Yes.
like it requires like maximum focus.
Yes, exactly.
I guess I'll just type in the.
Yeah, go for it.
Here, let's look at the Havana one first because actually at the very beginning of it I thought I was playing like kind of clean. Like I've been watching this unranked to GM by this he's a Korean guy, Top Dragon.
Yep. Is it the one Wizard Hyung posted?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's
Yeah.
it's pretty fire. It's nice. I like the I like the way he plays. He plays. I've been watching the Melio one too a little bit. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're familiar with that one.
I'm familiar with Melio, yeah.
I like the way he plays like better than Melio. Like I like Melio too, but like I don't know, the Korean guy, he just plays like super like I don't know.
So what have you seen? What have you learned
I
from
noticed
it?
like he's just like turbo patient. Like he just like like it's on at the very beginning of it. It's this map, okay, and he just like rides the cart. Like he just like hops on the cart. And look here, like I go up to the right, and this is my standard rollout on this map. And I've like just always did this, and I like reconsidered it because I don't remember why, but part of the reason was because I watched that unranked at GM, and I remembered like I was like, well, he doesn't necessarily like always go for the like flank
Can you send me the timestamp?
of what.
The the unranked GM, wherever you're at
yeah,
right
give me-
now.
give me a
I actually want to do something different. I want to look at the unranked GM first. Let's look at that. Let's look at parts of that map, and then let's look at your gameplay.
Okay, cool. Because I think it was the very first map, if I'm not mistaken, or it's the second one. Let me try to find it real quick. No, the first one was Pariso. Oh yeah, it's the second one. That's Savannah. So do it like this. There's the link, and it's at about 7 minutes.
All right.
Welcome to
Let me pull this up. So you said about 7 minutes in, or?
Yeah.
All right. Let me know if you can see that. You might need to click on my profile picture at the top to click over to find the stream here.
How's that? Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So let's.
Yeah, and he
change
just
it.
like hops on cart. Like that's just like the first thing he does. And I remember just thinking that was like bizarre.
Does
like,
Wizard Hyung commentate here?
yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so,
not sure exactly how much. I watched this like a day or two ago.
all right, so I'll keep it on quiet, but if it ends up being too much, I'll just mute it. Okay, let's take a look here. So Tracer, how would you describe Tracer? Like, what does the playstyle generally look for Tracer? Like, just broadly, as simple as you possibly can.
I know what you would say. You would just like say find an off angle that's like pretty close, and then shoot what's available, right?
What would you
Like,
say? Is there
I
anything that
would
you'd
say
add on to that?
I would say that yes, I do subscribe to your beliefs on that. But it's not like necessarily I always like keep it like firmly in mind when I'm playing. And like I said, that pressure to like I feel like I have to carry sometimes. Like sometimes it just doesn't fly. Like sometimes I can just sit there and shoot what's available and like whatever, and that just doesn't work. And I have to do like something like I have to like make space in some sort of way. Like if we just get caught up at Eichenwald first choke or something for like 3.5 minutes, you know what I mean, and nothing's happening. Like I'm going for a
Well,
flank,
where's
you
your
know what I mean?
where's your short off angle there? And I can hold
Um,
first choke.
I can see like that's weird. Like I don't want to ever sit in the little room on the right in the choke.
Right.
I don't want to sit in the room on the left in the choke.
Right.
Sometimes I don't want to sit on the little bridge either because they can just kind of like clear me out pretty
Everything
easy.
everything gets poked you out, right? So what's your
Yeah,
solution
you gotta
usually
go
then?
to that far right staircase and get
Right.
up top and go look over point,
Right.
or you have
So
to go like all
so
the way
you're
around bottom
describing
left.
it as this feeling, this need to kind of create pressure and to create a play, but that's because you don't really have a very good short range off angle.
Right. Yeah, and like that's what I'm saying. Like it's map specific, like a lot of
Yes.
times, and like
Yes. Exactly.
sometimes I would just play soldier and just stand there and just like shoot. Like sometimes that works too, because like Mercy's just like flying around in the open and nobody wants to shoot
Yeah.
her. And
Yeah.
I'll go soldier and shoot the Mercy. Fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah. 100%. All right. Let's take a look here. So he's pushing cart for right now.
And like
He's-
normally I would just go all the way up the right there and try and like start, because you know normally there's people like up top on that thing, and like I feel like walking down the street is just kind of like not the play usually, but like
Is there
obviously there's
anything
nobody there
happening
now.
right now?
Exactly. Like he's taking into account like the situation and not necessarily doing
Right.
like the same thing every time.
And now he's on the off angle, right? Now he's dueling on the off angle,
because there was something to do over there.
right? And so then he's going to take that off angle and continue to rotate to deepen. Now they're all too far away, so where should he rotate to? I mean, you've seen this, right? But
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it does here. If it was me, I'd probably like already start running up that staircase to the right. Like
would that shorten your sight lines on your target, though?
Potentially, like if you could get to that little top, there's a little platform like overlook. Like if you make it
Like
all the way
here?
to the hallway,
Can you
yeah,
see
it
my
would
mouse?
cost me like yeah up there. It would cost me like all my resources.
But wait a second. Let me stop you. Do you get closer to people by getting here, as opposed to just being here?
No.
So then don't rotate down.
Not closer. No,
Right,
But it's,
so there's no
it's high
point.
ground, so I just
Right,
like,
exactly. But that's that. We need to break that mentality, right?
Right.
You don't just go to a position because it's good, right? You go to position because, okay, well, wait, why is it good? Is it actually good? And the reality of the situation is just right now, if there's nobody on high ground, there's no point going high ground. In fact, if you were to go inside right, it would be to go down the staircase to go to their spawn. You know what I'm talking about? Because they're all over here, right? So we need to find a way to close the distance over there. Or off angle and shoot the tank, which is exactly what he does.
Right.
Off angle and shoot tank, hide from backline.
Isolating the
That is a really stupid ability.
doing like main damage.
I'm glad that got
Pressuring
changed.
Sigma off.
Now where should he rotate to? Hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I would. If it was me, like I would almost like maybe, but because it's a Sigma though, like you can't just like blink behind the car. He's gonna poke you out. Like, I would maybe even consider like triple blinking just all the way across the thing and just like.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah. Okay.
And there you go. You see it? So then now where is he going to go from here?
He's either gonna see. Like I've seen this before. I almost want to say he stays here, but I'm not. I don't quite remember. If it was me, I guess you would have to stay there. Like cart's kind of like coming around the corner, and your team's like kind of.
Let's say 5 seconds from now. Let's think ahead. 5 seconds.
Yeah. This room like cuts through, right? Like you can get. Yeah. I guess I would creep up that way. At least try to see what's going on.
Isolating the enemy backline on west, doing free damage on the Sigma.
And there it is, right? Now,
Yeah.
I like... Was this the room that you had in mind, or do you have the deeper left?
No. Isn't there like an upper room?
There
too?
is. There is.
Yeah,
I like
that's
your
the-
idea better because I think it allows him a little bit of a deeper access to backline so that what you do is you'd go top left and then you'd wait for your triple blink again, right? Right? And then
you
you'd
can
blink to
get that
backline.
little-
Yes, you'd blink to backline. Now, you could do the same thing on the right side with the mega room as well. Because this is pretty hairy here.
Getting slowly
Yeah, I
closer.
just like
Getting
kind of
back
lean
up.
into high ground generally. Like I know it's not always the best for Tracer, but like it's just
Right.
something.
But you
it's
see
from
how-
Soldier too. Like I'm just kind of like just sprinting high ground. Like
But you kind of see how this isn't really an angle anymore. So that we need to kind of solve this process by either hiding from these guys and shooting Sigma. But now Sigma's too far away. So really we kind of have to go for a deep rotation here. But it's hard, right? It's really hard, right? So he's trying to like use a car to kind of sneak up that way as best as he can. But it's super ugly. You see that? Like,
right.
So there, as he was engaging on the Cassidy and Zhang,
Okay.
he was not hard engaging. He was
we'll mute Wizard Hyung for now. But basically, you know, he's playing by the rules. You notice this? He's playing by the rules. Like you're almost predicting exactly how he's going to rotate based off of the situation.
And it's like it just struck me like how slow it was. Like I was just like, man, this dude's just like literally riding the cart most of the way and just like kind of
Well,
whatever.
briefly, really, like you're saying that, but he was only in cart for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, he's very. I'm sorry, not literally riding the cart. He was very near in proximity to the cart, which is obviously makes sense. It's the objective.
Well, no, actually, no. But go back. Like this is why it's very dangerous to watch unranked GMs without context.
Okay.
What other short angles were available to him here, besides stuff that was near the objective? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What other positions were there? Not a lot, right? This is Havana first point.
Right.
So he just took what was available. That's all.
Yep.
That's all. Don't try to mimic the riding the card. Don't try to mimic playing tightly around the objective. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. The only thing you need to worry about is that he was on an off angle playing his effective range and sometimes shooting tank, sometimes shooting backline, depending on what was available. And then as this evolves, as the point opens up a little bit, there's a little bit more verticality, you're going to see more stuff like this. Why is he not playing the objective now? Is he stupid?
No, I'm not sure what just happened. I think they're still like staggering them or something, aren't they?
But you don't even need to know that. Is he on a short range off angle? Yes. That's it.
Gotcha.
That's it. And this is just a good short range off angle on this particular point. This kind of an off angle wasn't available 35, 40 seconds ago, right? Now it is because a different point, different situation. And so now he's doing what you would do on first point Havana.
Right.
Because the other thing as well
Is exactly what I would do on first.
Exactly. And the funny thing as well is if we go all the way back, I'm gonna ask you to have a little bit of an ego here. You ready for this? Do you think that Top Dragon would play like you on first point Havana if there was somebody up on top?
Maybe. It makes sense to me. You know what I
That
mean?
makes sense to me too. Could you set up a short range off angle if there were people up top?
You can play around the little staircase.
Sure
There's a little
can.
hut down there and
Sure
stuff.
can. Right? It's context, right? It's context. Where are the enemies? What is the map? Okay, that's it. So why didn't he do it? Well, because there's nobody there. That's it.
Roger.
That's all. And so, the situation, why is he in spawn now? Well, it's because that's where the enemies are, and that's what the map provides. So he is doing all this kind of lurking nonsense in backline. That's a crazy clip. Well, he is he's a good one to watch as well because Top Dragon he's a high level contenders player. So like he's a professional player, not just a grandmaster player, right? So
It's pretty nuts.
he actually plays in European contenders, which is funny.
Really?
Yeah. But like again, short range off angle, right? Like this isn't rocket science. The way that he moves, the way that he aims, the way that he duels is a little bit of rocket science, right? It's really good, right? But the way that he positions, it's not a mystery, right? You know where he's going to rotate in about 5. Now, why is he not rotating here now? Because where's the fight going to happen? Where's the objective?
Right. It's gonna happen right there.
It's going to happen like right
over
here,
the
right?
corner, yeah.
So he might as well stay here because they're going to rotate under him. And so he might as well rotate. But like, let's say the cart was like right here and the fight was happening here. Where would Top Dragon go in about 5 seconds?
I don't know. Across the bridge or just
Right.
down low.
Down low. Just get right here, right? Just take your angle here. Nothing miraculous or weird. Just takes the angle and shoot. Takes the angle and shoot. In fact, he actually will probably do that. And see, the reason he's chasing Tracer here instead of setting up his angle is why. Look at the situation. This is all the information you need to know. Do you see it?
He can't. Yeah, she's
He can't.
overextended.
Well, she's overextended, but also, do you see how far away these guys are?
Right.
Where would
Well,
he
that's-
angle here? You know?
Oh, because he has nothing else to do, is what you're saying.
He has nothing else to do. They've
I got
all
you,
backed
I got you.
off, and he's looking at Rhine Shield. Now, he could take 1, 2, 3 blinks and set up an angle here. Maybe. That's one choice. Or he could also go for Tracer. I think they're both equally interesting opportunities, but there's no other easy choice here, right? So it's why you were wanting him to triple blink all the way across the map on first point. Remember that? Why? Because there just wasn't a good angle anywhere else. Like, it was just it's a bad point for Tracer. So guess what? He recognizes it. Goes, well, I can't do anything here. Like, they're still, like, even now they're still far away. I'm still looking at Rhine Shield. Okay, so you know what? I'll chase the target. Now, if I'm coaching like let's say just an average Tracer, I probably would have preferred Top Dragon to drop here and poke from this angle off of the Flux and or wrap that way. But this isn't bad given the circumstances. Now, from here, where should Top Dragon go? He's on cart for right now, but where's he going to go in the next few seconds?
So I actually know what happens here, because I remember thinking he made a weird decision here, and he makes it work. But so we just lost our tank. So like, I personally would be like kind of scared and would be thinking about running away at this point.
Okay, but look at the kill feed.
Yeah, we're even, but I don't know if Tracer is worth like Sigma.
It doesn't matter. It's 4v4. That's all you need to worry about.
Okay.
I think that's the simplest way of looking at it. Are you sometimes correct? Yeah, but it's a 4v4. So
Well, I just feel like generally my team, like, it's not even necessarily me. I feel like generally, like, when you lose your tank, your team like also just kind of recognizes
That's
that,
true.
like, our shield's gone, and like they want to back off too. So like I just feel like
That's true.
like,
That's
most
true.
of the time, like, your team's gonna peel back already.
So
like-
I want to ignore that niche circumstance, right? Because I think maybe you're right, but let's just look at it from like a holistic strategical standpoint. From what you understand, what you know, what could he do? Where could he go?
We can take the room. I mean, there's kind of like,
You got it.
it's like one blink away. There's nothing else really. Like,
It's a good
that
short
we
off
can-
angle, right?
Yeah. And if you get nicked on the way, and I think there's a health pack right there.
And there it is, right? 2 blinks, recall. Where's he going to go with this blink? We all know where he's going to go with this blink. There it is.
Yeah.
There it is again, deepening the angle. Backline follows up. Sleep lands. Headshot from the Widow. He's still holding the angle. He's still running from the angle. Still running and running and running and running and running. Oh my days.
No.
Oh no, it's so scary. Oh, he's got to be careful of that whip shot. He's going to get whipped right there.
I know.
Yeah, that brig entered. Honestly, like that is
No,
absolutely criminal. But the fundamentals were there, right? He goes to the short off angle and just lives, right? Okay, let's stop there. So the reality of the situation is that Top Dragon is just doing what he's supposed to do, right? There's nothing miraculous, right? How he aims and moves is phenomenal. How he positions is something that you can personally replicate quite easily.
Right.
Easily, okay, simply, not easily, okay? Like the process is simple, to do it consistently can be hard. Okay, so let's position like Top Dragon. You're on the angle here. Is there anybody on your angle right now? No, any Tracer like there was with Top Dragon?
Negative.
So then what should you do?
Deep in the angle.
You got it.
Or
You got it.
I seen well, what happened was I saw Genji and I was like, there's something to do, right? So
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But see, this is kind of like where, remember when did Top Dragon bail on his rotation to go back and deal with a Tracer? When did he do that? What was the
there was
circumstances?
nothing else to do.
There was nothing else to do, and there wasn't a good angle for him to play. There is a good angle for you to play. You know the rotation, right? Whether that's underneath to shoot the Doomfist in the back or the high ground to pressure out the Soldier Mercy. And so you are reading the letter of the law, not the spirit of the law here, right? And so this is going to be ultimately, at best, a waste of time. At worst, you might even get killed here. And so now you see the problem, right? You've chased. Yes, you've cleared the Genji out along with the rest of your team, but now you're not really in a good position to do what you wanted to do earlier, which was deepen. There's a reason why you went right side to begin with, because this angle's good, this angle's good, this angle's good, and this angle's good. And you get to all those angles from right side, right? So now we're kind of stuck.
Something I've been generally experimenting with more is just like marking flankers. Like, it's just something I've just been playing around with.
It's really good. Tracer's exceptional at it if the flanker is on the angle that you choose. If not, don't do it.
Got you.
Otherwise, it becomes a situation where you have to use blinks to get to the flanker, which means,
Right.
ironically, you're not really in a good position to fight the flanker in the first place because you don't have any more resources. So, just something to keep in mind. All right. What would Top Dragon do? What would Top Dragon do? You tell me.
Ride the cart. I don't know.
Ride the cart? Okay, so ride the
yeah.
cart, and then what? Then what? Ride the cart, ride the cart, ride the cart, then what?
I'm hoping he would do what I did, and like there really is a reason to go after the Genji now, right? Like,
Why?
because Soldier's no longer up top. I can't really I don't know if going around right is a good option. It would take several blinks to get there, and I'd probably get peppered by Soldier.
Okay.
And Genji's in the room, and he's like in my territory, and I don't like
So
it.
this is now viable as opposed to the last fight, which it was not viable. So what has changed?
He's closer to my team than I am to his. And we have our tank now.
So you're thinking again. You're thinking like 7D chess, but that just doesn't matter. What is the biggest difference between this engage here, as opposed to this engage from here?
I have more resources
That's it. Why do you have more resources?
because I didn't have to blink.
Because you didn't have
across
to triple
the
blink.
street.
Okay, so it's convenience. It has nothing to do about your tank or the rotate. No. You were there. That's it. You were there. So then now you're in a very good position to duel this Genji. Why? Because you did it right now, and you're coming up on 2 blinks and a recall. So now the Genji's out. Now the question still remains: where do you go from here? What would Top Dragon do?
Well, I didn't want to walk through the door behind my tank because I figured a bunch of people would be shooting
And
at
you're
the
right.
door, so
And
I
you're
came
right.
around this way.
So where should you go now?
I don't remember exactly. I think surely I just blink right here and just.
Yes, surely, right? That's what Top Dragon would do. Top Dragon
But-
would move this way and hover this way, right?
But I'm pretty crazy, man. I might just blink into Soldier's face here or something. I don't know.
So this is where your rotation was too slow, right? You took too long to get to this position. You needed to take the angle and deepen the angle, and then what would Top Dragon do from here?
Shoot that Ana that's right there, probably.
Right? Take the position, shoot what's convenient from that position. It always revolves back around that. What would Top Dragon do from here?
Keep clocking around the clock.
Keep
there, I
clocking
guess.
around the clock, right? We've seen him go from here. We've seen him wrap from here. We maybe even look to go in from here. You got it. Top Dragon is a clock student. See, what I do is, it's not my school of thought here. I didn't invent Tracer game. I know you're not saying that or thinking that, but I didn't invent good Tracer gameplay. All I'm doing is I'm attaching terms that are more easily unactionably understandable for the average gold, plat, diamond, bronze, silver, masters, even grandmaster player, so that you don't have to guess about what the pro players are doing. There's a very specific thing that you have to do to replicate it. That's it. It's not my school of Tracer thought, right? It's just good Tracer gameplay. And I know that sounds a little bit egotistical, but it's true, right? I've coached at the highest level for a reason. All I'm doing is I'm looking at players like Shaxx. I'm looking at players like Kevster and Top Dragon and, Sabiolbi, even going way back to Overwatch 1 and saying, okay, this is what they're doing consistently.
Yeah, you're just pointing it out, right?
Right. I'm just pointing it out. And so there isn't a mystery, and anybody that tries to tell you otherwise just doesn't understand Tracer. So right now, this is just where you need to be, or this is where you need to be, or this is where you need to be. It's that simple, right? This is just too far. So how are you going to close the distance here? And you kind of see this is where you're not on the clock, right?
Right.
You're not on the clock, and you're not on a good
Definitely
offing.
not comfy.
Right. So you could feel the stress, you could feel the pressure. It's stressful. Good. So here, keep going, right? Keep going.
Right.
I think my point here is that you don't have to be like Top Dragon and nail the first rotation every time. You can make a mistake. You can be like, I should have gone right, I went left, or I should have gone right or left, I went right. Okay, so you went here, commit to it, make it work.
Got you.
You got me? So this is where you are. Okay, so then make this rotation look fruity. Make it look amazing. Get all the way around, right? If you want to go here, if this is where you chose, okay, great. We could shoot this on out. Then where would you go if you chose from here? You shoot the on out, then what?
I mean,
It's hard, isn't it?
It's kind of a weird spot. Yeah.
It is.
Maybe I would
So make it work.
Maybe I would risk quick U-turn around the corner to the staircase.
Yeah, you could. You definitely could. Yeah, you got the right idea. Give me another option from here. Get even crazier with it.
Even crazier.
Yeah.
I blink across to where I was gonna come around to, anyways. I guess. I
So,
don't even know if I have enough blinks. Or I'm obviously not here right now.
Yeah.
If I had full blinks, I guess just blink straight across into the bottom room there.
Like where? Like over here?
Like straight
like
past,
here?
yeah, like boom.
You could. I could go something even simpler than that. Ready for this? Blink here.
Seems like really scary.
It's scary, but you got good cover, and you got 2 blinks and a recall still. Remember, we saw Top Dragon do the exact same thing here, right? When he didn't have anywhere to go, right? So you go from here, and then maybe you choose. You can deepen, right? You got options. So this is where you would go more flanky. I actually don't hate this so much. The question is what are you going to do from here? Because this is obviously not good enough. This is just a stepping stone. Everything's still too far. So where should you go from here?
Yeah, I was eyeballing the little room right there.
Yeah. This is great from here. I'm telling you, this is how Top Dragon would position. Tell you what, that's what Top Dragon would do. Because this is too far, right? This is too far.
Right.
So deepen that rotation. Yeah, this is what Top Dragon would do. Yeah. And then now what would Top Dragon do?
Hang out.
Hang out. Yeah, hang out.
I don't know. I was thinking I probably went in too soon. Maybe. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that too.
You could also do this here.
Time.
Well, the thing is you're talking about wasting time, but what are you doing right now?
I know, just waiting anyways, right?
Waiting anyways, right? So you might as well take the time to drop it, and you could even do it from this angle here, right? Get that DPS
I get
passive.
antsy, man. It's like, man, I'm not doing nothing. Like,
well, that's why we brought it up, and there's a discussion, right? That's why it's such a priority for you, because it is stealing not your. I don't want to be dramatic and saying it's stealing your joy of the game, but it's also stealing your execution, right? Your execution is not as clean because you feel this emphasis. And I remember the first adjective that you used for Top Dragon's Tracer gameplay was what?
Restrained,
right?
Slow, yeah.
Restrained and slow, very deliberate, right? Very patient, one step at a time.
It's like really restrained, and then just like these bursts of just like insane, like.
And that's how Tracer plays, right? You're very restrained until you're in a position where it's a clean 1v1, and then you go nuts, right? And that's just how it works, right? So you're restrained, you're demure, you get to here, you destroy everybody. Triple blink, recall, pulse bomb. I mean, look at the value you got from this. Like you're going to win this fight. You're going to force his Valk. You're going to force his anti-nade, right? Yep. You got it. Because you're right. That is how Tracers play. Like I don't hate this rotation, by the way. I don't hate this rotation. I mean, this is hilarious, but I don't hate it.
I know.
I really don't
just
hate
it. In real time, she just like she understands the assignment. She just like stands on my butt.
Yeah. So basically, the way this works is this is what you might have heard me use the term crosshair ego before, which is like when 2 targets are looking directly at each other, Tracer generally needs to blink and move.
Yeah.
Right?
Ego for sure.
The problem that happens to a lot of Tracers, this isn't just you being dumb here, is that when you have pulse bomb, it's very tempting to not blink because you're like, I have a one shot. I don't need to blink. But then this is what happens, right? Because if you blink through here, this doesn't happen.
Yeah, I wasn't quite expecting her to push me like that hard. I was expecting her to like hook the corner a little bit more.
Yeah,
I was going to stick her like right as she came around.
She won the brain game. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. She won the brain game between you and her. And honestly, that just happens a lot with Pulse Bomb. It is what it is. I want to move on to later on in the map because I think we've kind of broken the crap out of first point here. So
on defense, I play Soldier. So,
do you want to look at Soldier?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I think my Soldier player. I mean, I just haven't been playing him as much. I think
that's fine.
His like my Soldier style is getting kind of whack because I play so much Tracer now. So like I just get like too close to like.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll look at a little bit more Tracer on like, let's say, second point here. Let's see if we can, some of what we can apply. Then we'll wrap up with some Soldier stuff here. What would Top Dragon do? Where would Top Dragon? I mean, honestly, we could really just frame it as where would Top Dragon go? You know? That's really what we're looking at here.
TD.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna die to Helix. Okay. Yeah. Very, very patient, very restrained. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. Just crosshair you go again. You had that second blink, you had that third blink and a recall. They're 1 HP, so you're like, I have to finish the kill now. You're okay.
That was one of those times when I like died with my finger on recall. I try to do like the melee recall cancel.
Yeah. I got you. And to be honest with you, I think that would have gotten the kill. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It happens. You're just a little late with it. That's all. And I will say as well, probably the better shot there, if we're going to go, what would Top Dragon do mechanic episode, is right here. What would he do?
He just blink, right? Like,
He'd
there's no
blink
reason
through,
to-
right?
Yeah,
Blink through.
there's
You
no
have
reason.
26 bullets still left in your clip. That is more than enough to finish this guy off, right? Blink through, finish the clip, then get your recall if you need to. You got it. Okay. So that
I
one.
already had.
Hey, go ahead.
No,
no,
I
no.
had already had it in my mind. I wasn't fully committing to that. I was just gonna like recall out or
Yeah,
whatever. I
yeah,
just
it's
did it,
fine.
like, too
It's fine.
slow. So I didn't want to like spend the extra blink, kind of. You know what I mean? I was just like,
Right.
it was like a mindset thing.
It's a greedy mindset there. Yeah, for sure. Understandable. What would Top Dragon do? What would Top Dragon do? You got options, right? What
Yeah.
are you leaning into right now?
Bro, I was thinking about like slipping into the staircase right there and just like
Mm-hmm.
kind of eyeballing the hallway, maybe.
Yeah. I tell you what, we already saw Top Dragon do this exact same thing.
I know,
And the
like, it
circum-
was fresh on my mind. I was like trying to like not copy him necessarily, but it was on my mind, and I was just like,
I mean,
I was
this-
kind of thinking like, what would he do? You know?
I'm gonna be real. This looks pretty good to me. I like
yeah,
what
I'm
you're doing.
distracting Doom, right? I love dueling Doom on Tracer. Like,
Yeah, you're being super patient with it. You kind of lost a little bit of your blink intensity right here. Right, you see how you try to greet the full clip, and then he just takes one shotgun to your head, and you're just like, look, where
Right.
did my HP go? So you lost your crosshair ego here. So we've had one crosshair ego pulse bomb, one crosshair ego because the target was 1 HP, but there's no excuse for this one. Right, he's not low, you don't have pulse bomb, you just really, really wanted that clip. That being said, your position, that's Top Dragon, right? Good stuff. No. What would Top Dragon do? I know you don't have a re here, but you've been given the angle. Congratulations, you won. You won. You won the 1v1. Now what?
just keep going.
Keep going. Shoot the Mercy. Force that Valk. Shoot that Doomfist. Use these boxes as cover. Keep going. You know,
can even play under the little thing right
You
there,
sh-
which I
you-
never think about. Like, no,
right here.
under the lookout. Yeah, like by the.
Oh
garage.
yeah, exactly.
It's
Like
kind of open from like it looks open, but you're underneath like all the high ground right there.
You
and
are.
You can play the little rooms. And
Sure are.
stuff. It's-
Yeah, I mean, you've set up like see. This is what's killing me. It's the same thing that happened with First Sight with a Genji. It's like that you did your homework, right? You set up on your right rotation. This one you did even better because you actually won a 1v1 on that angle. What did Top Dragon do when he beat the Trace in the 1v1? Did he go all the way back to his team to chase? No, he kept rotating. Right? And then he ended up shooting the Sigma, and then he went from there, right? From here, your position is exceptional for value, not only in few seconds, but actually right now. But instead, we're going to go chase Genji. And I think this is kind of like where you have to analyze your thought processes. What led to this decision?
Like I just kind of get into like mindsets of like I need to baby my team, like sort of like I get like paranoid, especially with flankers. Like I get paranoid, like they're just gonna like wreck my team or whatever. And it's
Yes,
like
understandable.
I just pushed Doom out. It's like, all right, I pushed Doom out. Genji's on my team now. Let me go like clear him out, make sure nobody's gonna die, and then like I can go. Cause like the angle, it just looked like too much distance between me and like anything relevant. So like
I understand.
I did consider deepening the angle, but like I didn't want to get like stuck in a position where I'm just kind of like waiting on my team to like chase
Sure.
Genji out. You know
Right.
what I
Well,
mean?
we're not asking you to wait. We're definitely asking you for pressure now. And I understand it didn't feel super good on the angle, but we've already analyzed it. There was lots of opportunity if you taken it, given it a second chance.
Right.
And I want to point out that because you were, instead of deepening, this Doom is going to live. Right? And Doom is a threat. This Ana is also going to live. So yes, you helped babysit versus Genji, and yeah, no, did kill him. But what if the Doom had gone for your backline? What if that Ana had landed an anti-nade, right? Like ultimately, the way that you protect your team is not always dealing with the most direct threat to your team, but with the most direct threat to you. The most direct value that you can get. And Genji was not direct value for you.
Got you.
It's kind of like hiring a world-class cook to help you move, and instead of having that cook like make lunch and dinner for you guys, so you guys don't have to worry about it. You can just focus on moving the furniture, yelling at the cook for not moving the couch. It's like you hired a cook and you're asking your cook to move the couch. Like it takes all types of value to win. Healers and a tank and a flanker and a hit scan, and your flanker is pretending she's Mercy. No, do your job. Keep this tank contested. Keep this lane clear, or harass the hit scan even.
it's like playing Winston like standing in a choke and like,
Exactly. Like you could even look at it this way. Like you go here and you could have deepened. I mean, look how easy this is now. You could be on the soldier.
I really considered that too. I kind of
Right.
also like, I know this is like, and I get in my own head. Like I think I like definitely like what you're like 70 chess shit sometimes because like
Mm-hmm.
I was like I could push soldier, but it's a hallway. It's gonna be like easier for him to hit me with Helix. Like I'm not sure if I can like really like pull that off. And, like, you know,
Yeah.
and then
yeah.
like in the match, I'm like thinking about all this, and I'm like, should I just be like shooting Genji? You know what I mean? Like, would it be
Yeah,
easier for me to just like
yep.
go over there and shoot Genji?
Yep.
Like,
Here's the rule: you take the angle, and then you overcome whatever shortcomings that angle provides, or whatever shortcomings that 1v1 provides to provide value.
mm-hmm.
You simplify your decision making by just taking a short off angle and taking whatever's done. Yes, it's hard to dual soldier here, but you have to do it.
Right.
Yes, it's hard to shoot. Doesn't always feel super rewarding to shoot the Doomfist at the back, but you have to do it. It's better, but because the thing is, it's like when you play your angles appropriately, you also have resources so that you can do those things, right? The whole reason why we don't want you chasing Genji is because that you don't have resources anymore, right? It's not just about angle. It's also about preservation of your CDs so that you approach this with 2 blinks and a recall. You go blink, 1 clip, melee, recall back out, and then see how it goes from there, right?
And at least
because
he wasn't
ultimately,
shooting anybody else that whole time, right?
Yeah, because the irony is that you're like, I can't, it's too far away, and then because you let him hold the space, you die anyway.
Like I think I was gonna even go for him, and I like changed my mind.
Yeah, I mean, you needed to wait. You needed to definitely wait and not go for him immediately. But how would you change your situation here? What would you do differently? Because everything's too far. Everything is too far here. So what do you do?
Creep up the staircase. I need another.
Creep up the
blink.
staircase, right?
Yeah.
Wait 1 second. Wait 2 seconds. Listen. Maybe get a helix, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then go for it there. I mean, you might as well. There's nothing else to do. So you might as well. You got nothing to lose. Okay,
that's a big part of it. It's just like recognizing like what I'm actually capable of like accomplishing. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
like you said something in one of your videos once. It was like don't get baited by like Tracer's infinite skill ceiling, like just infinite like opportunities. Like you can literally be anywhere on the map, right, as Tracer, but like you can't just like force necessarily like bad positions because you like or just be low on resources to get to a position that you didn't or be low on resources to get to a target that you didn't like really need to go for. Like,
Yes.
Have to
So
force everything.
I want you to wrap this up before we just take a quick look at some soldier. What are some things that how would you paraphrase? Give me 2 or 3 things that you need to practice with Tracer specifically, whether it's a mindset shift, a specific mechanical thing, or something else.
I definitely need to just like not die with like a bunch of blinks and like my recall, like the crosshair greed thing. Like that's definitely like,
yeah, that's the way that dying with blinks and
Really
recall. That's
big.
vague, right? But
That's, like, really
respecting
big.
the enemy's aim, is really important, no matter what rank you are. Okay.
Because
Okay.
I can't tell you how many times like I just got too close to somebody and they just like headshot me for free just because like my head was
Tracer.
taking up their whole screen. I'm sure.
Crosshair ego, specifically moving with blinks to respect enemies. Okay, keep going. That's a big one.
Yeah, patience. I definitely need to just like. Okay, so there's. You talk about chess sometimes. I don't know if you're like big like chess player necessarily.
I was a big chess player, ironically, when I was freaking 5 years old.
Okay.
But I do not play chess.
I used to play a lot of chess, and I make a lot of comparisons. I think chess is like the primordial game. It's like the
Yeah.
It's
certainly
has
the historical
so many,
game for sure.
It has so many like easily like comparable like concepts to a lot of different like other games. Like I think any sufficiently complex game is gonna have like game theory like overlaps with other ones, right?
Yes, I agree.
So like a big thing in chess is like, so you're not a computer, like you're not gonna be able to calculate, and you're probably not a grandmaster. You're not gonna be able to calculate like all these like crazy like lines and variations and stuff necessarily like in the heat of a game. So like a big concept in chess is like recognizing when you have an advantage, and then like not necessarily like pushing that advantage, but like just kind of parking on it, because like in chess, like once you have an advantage, like you're mathematically like winning this game now. You know what I mean? And like all you have to do is not blow that, and your opponent will eventually like it's going to be harder and harder for them to make decisions as time goes on because they have less than you do. You know?
Yes.
You're
yes.
literally at an advantage, right? So
yes.
like I think Overwatch has a lot of the like same concepts in the sense that like once certain cooldowns and stuff come out and like once certain things like happen in the game, like certain ground is given or taken or certain like objectives or somebody dies or like any amount of like Wizard calls them like green lights, right? Like
Yep.
you have like certain things that can happen in the game. Those are your green lights or like when you can do something. That's like when to go, but like I think also like the patience aspect of like okay, we're already winning this fight or I already have the relevant ground. Like when I pushed the Doom out earlier, like I already have the relevant ground, like I'm already in the good spot. I don't have to go try and now like get another advantage somewhere else. All I have to do is park on this one, like just keep walking, you know what I mean? Just park on
Yep.
this advantage and just keep like using this advantage that I already have.
Yep. Yep.
I think that's
Okay.
the big one. So just patience and like parking on advantages and not necessarily like forcing
Yes.
things.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Anything else?
I feel like that's like probably like two of like the very most major things. Yeah, I want to like get better at like not um not necessarily like forcing Tracer. Like I try to play Tracer like as much as possible, but I want to get better at like knowing like when I have to switch, if that makes
Okay.
sense. Like
Sure.
like when it's time to give up. Like how many counters is enough? You know what I mean? Like how many times do I have to get one shot by like Mercy pocketed Ash to like give it up? You know what I mean? Like that, like knowing when it's time to just
Sure.
like
Yeah.
just do something else. I know that's not like necessarily like a Tracer specific thing. That's like when to stop playing Tracer, but like I do want to know like when that point is. But like there's also the aspect of like I'm trying to get better at Tracer like specifically, so like I understand the like value of like just like gritting your teeth and just like trying to keep going. You know what I mean? Playing into counters and stuff like that. Like I know that's like sometimes recommended by like people that know what they're talking about, like playing into counters to get better and not just like super swapping all the time.
Sure. Okay. I will say that in the situations where you are feeling like I'm not performing, like the Ash Mercy example, like you said there, you got to ask yourself, it's a question of like, oh, I need to perform or I want to practice. If you feel like you're not practicing well, then that's a big problem. But if the ultimate goal is to get better at Tracer, then you're going to have to play her in suboptimal circumstances. The question is are you actively, purposefully, and specifically practicing? Or are you just kind of going through the motions?
Right. It does feel like that sometimes. Like like anytime I'm debating on switching, I'm probably having a pretty rough game already. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So it's
Yeah.
just like it's like I want to practice Tracer and I want to get better at Tracer, but not at the expense of just like completely throwing a game because I'm like being stubborn. You know what I mean? So,
Well, yeah, exactly. But I think if at that point, if you feel like I'm just like hitting a brick wall, like why did you build that brick wall? You know, like at what point did you start putting that brick wall together mentality wise in that game? You know, at what point did this game become a wash, and how can you prevent that from happening? Not in terms of the result, but in terms of like your mentality going into that game, like or your mentality as the game evolved or as you started, things started like the feeling like I have to provide value and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. Because when you have games where let's put it this way, when the game is a total wash and you just have to swap, you failed. Not because you failed because the game is lost or won. You fail because you're no longer able to practice effectively.
right.
So what happened to lead you into that mental state? Because even a total curb stomp of a game can still be a learning opportunity.
Right. Yeah. It's just like it's usually just dying too much. Like I'm just not playing. I'm not playing because I'm always dead. You know. So.
Okay, so then
Just-
why
it's
are
just
you
like-
always dead, right? Like
it's
you
just like-
gotta,
'cause
go ahead.
It's crosshair greed. It's 90. I'm telling you, it's like 90. Like that was the first thing I said because it was like the main I just be dying like in the most stupid and particularly like at like moments when I really like shouldn't be dying like.
Okay.
And it comes back to that like I feel like I need to carry like especially like overtime situations and shit like that. Like I'll be
Okay.
like, oh man, like I really
So
get real tight. You know what I mean?
this
And,
is
like,
the sauce. You have a mechanical error that presents itself from a mental error.
Okay.
Feeling you need to carry leads to, or maybe exacerbates, your crosshair ego. You notice that? Like that's what you just told me. I think that's a really, really good observation from you. So then the question is do you need to get better at your crosshair ego, or do you need to get better at this desire or this emphasis on I have to perform, I have to provide value, and I have to do it now? It's not just your crosshair ego as well. Notice that you were chasing targets a lot too as well. And the answer is probably both. Depends on what you want to work on.
It's crazy, man, because like I have this like I'm semi-mindful about it, you know what I mean? Not fully, but I notice like when it's happening sometimes. Like I'll be like, damn, I'm like really forcing this, or like wow, like I notice it a lot when I start dueling DPS. Like when I like start going for duels like a lot, like especially Casses. Like I really want to duel Casses like all the time for some reason. And like there'll be games where like I'll lose the duel like 2 or 3 times, and I'll be like, what am I doing? Like why am I even forcing this? Like there's no point in doing this. Like Anna's just sitting there. Like I could just like, and it'd be easier to get to her too. You know what I mean? Like I'm like tracking down like Cassidy. I'm like following his footprints and his scent and shit just to like find him or whatever. And then like it's just like there was like a way more convenient option like almost always, or like I could have just he's not even carrying. Like he's just like doing whatever. He's just playing Cass. Like it's not even that big of a deal. He just like flashed me once and I took it like super personal and like whatever. Like shit like that. But like I said, I'm semi-mindful about it, and I think I mentioned going into this, I pretty much know like what like my problems are for the most part. But like I haven't thought about it like that though. Like which approach should I take? Should I like worry about the mental aspect of it and let the crosshair ego just kind of go away as a result of just not like stressing so hard? Or
I think it depends on what situation that you're in. I think if you are stressing, the number one priority is dealing with and coping with and improving that stress. But I think when you're in a more calm state, or even in your warm-up, for example, working on the mechanical side of things is probably the more demanding thing. So like when you are fresh, when you aren't tilted, work on your mechanics, work on your positioning. When you are stressed, when you are upset, address that situation. Address that situation.
Makes sense.
Okay. Soldier?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take a couple minutes at that.
Ready for battle.
Tracer's like one of the most mental characters too. I feel like it gets like very like.
Am I crazy?
like-
Or I think you're on Reaper here. This is Reaper.
Oh, did I? No. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did play Reaper. I'm
we
sorry.
can look at
I'm
some.
sorry.
We can look at some Reaper, and we can if you
Oh,
want to.
yeah, I think I go hard. I actually go hard on Reaper here.
All right,
so,
let's
like, I feel
see
better
you go
about
hard.
this.
Let's see you go hard.
I think maybe. I'm pretty sure. So I felt like I was playing like booty cheeks on Tracer, and then like once I swapped to Reaper.
I'm gonna
it was
make a
like,
really, really, really bad joke. I'm sorry.
Oh god.
You're playing Reaper. All right, sorry.
No, I like
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it earlier, which is like, hey, Reaper's just like Tracer, but just sometimes I can have a little more impact in the front line, and that's pretty much it. It's like you can flank a lot better than you used to, which is really nice. But like here, if you just wanted to like, okay, like let's say the Doomfist pushes a little bit closer, you just want a short off angle and just burn this guy's head. This is fine too. I will say this is a really bad spot for your team to be taking the fight for you. I feel kind of sorry for you because it's like, where do I go?
He wants to play cart. That's fine.
Yeah, you just got to make the most of it, Like, honestly, like, hold the angle here, apply pressure from here, maybe look for a TP play and Wraith out. Like, I don't know, it's rough. This is
Genji and like I wasn't.
yeah, this is better. This is better. This is good value. Yep, good value. It's easy. Just hold the angle, do damage on the angle, right? It's just like Tracer, right? Good stuff.
See, and it's funny because like I play better like sometimes on these more limited characters because I don't have like all the options of Tracer.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I can only play within
Right.
Wraith range of my team, so like
Yeah.
I need, like
Well, you don't have to think about crosshair ego, You,
right.
you just shoot people in the face, right? So like if you either don't peek, if anything is peeking you at like close range, like you don't juke with Reaper, you just shoot them.
It's like I win these.
Yeah, exactly. I would say probably TP here. This is definitely where I think you're trying to deal with the problem again, kind of like Tracer, when like your first priority needs to be in setting up your angle. So like TP
Right.
here or TP here and set up your angle here, or TP here. You're gonna get killed by this Honor Widow if you do this kind of stuff. Like this is just like you're like disrespecting this Widowmaker so much right now. Like you need to be on a short angle, playing your character, and I think like that's like a kind of a good reminder. It's like, hey, even with Reaper, sometimes some of these like I have to help. No, you don't. Go do damage. This is how you help. Don't let the Widow and Reaper or the Ana and Widow free fire. This is a good position for you to be there. And this is okay because he was like close, right? And then you rotate on the backline. Do it. I know you're up a couple, but like just you farm the clip. Farm the clip. That's a
I
good
was scared
rate.
of sleep and I like fumbled my leg. This is weird what I do here.
That's fine. Kind of an over ult, but yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, I know. Like,
It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. You win the fight. It's a big thing.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
No problem. No problem. No problem. I mean, again, just hold angle, shoot damage. I mean, look at your ult charge, right? The fight hasn't even probably started and you're already 30% your next ult. Now, this is bad. This is bad. Where are you? Where's the value?
right.
Right? So this is your priority here, right? If you're like, oh, I want to reset, okay, then get the frick out of dodge, right? You need to TP and get out, right? You either... Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I will say, like, it's particularly this game, like, I felt like Doom was like just kind of carrying, so like I was sort of trying to mitigate that, but I do like specifically remember this happening and being like, why did I try and like kill this?
Well, you're giving him more value is what you're doing. You're allowing him to not only get value, but you're also letting him get indirect value through space as well, because you're letting backline walk for free. So not only is Doomfist carrying mechanically, but he's also carrying through strategy. And you're not dealing with a problem here. Like, how much damage have you done here? 20? 30? You know? So you're not... This is how you trade, right? At least. I mean, look at this.
I know, and then Juno ulted, and then like I was like, all right, well, Juno maybe like, and it was sort of a limit test too. I was like, I wonder how much damage I can actually
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. Like, once you're here, like, you might as well, because like you're actually here. But it's a hilarious kill feed reminder of like why this is so bad, right? You're in Juno ult, chasing a Doomfist across the map, and he's just like, kills your backline anyway.
I at least could have traded there on him, maybe or something else, like spelled card even.
And also the thing is like, think about what you enable at the same time. Like, you might not even die to Doomfist. You might die to the Widowmaker and Ana follow up here. I'm actually curious, did the...
Oh yeah, she body shot me.
Yeah. You know? And it's also a question of like, the reason that, you know, she's hard pocketing Doom. You know, every shot is like a ton of healing because of the damage reduction as well from Nano. So yeah, this is fine. Just dying cart. Okay. Overextended. He's close, so shoot him. He's close, so shoot him. He's close, so shoot him. I mean, this is fine, right? You see the difference here between that and the previous fight. It's a question of convenience, right? And that's like one of the rules of not just Overwatch, but that's one of the rules of first-person shooters, right? You don't move your bishop across the entire end of the map when a knight or a horse is right there to deal with the problem, right? You need to take what your piece is appropriate doing, put it in an appropriate spot, and deal with it what's convenient, right? I'm really forcing these analogies, man. You gotta cut me some slack.
It's more like when all your pieces are on one side of the board, like you wouldn't just attack the other side, like you would.
Yeah, exactly. I think the knight is or the horse is kind of a good example because obviously the mobility is kind of limited, right? This one was fine. I think you should just let it rip sooner.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I was waiting for there. That was kind of dumb.
She whiffed sleep, and
I was probably scared. Yeah, I was probably scared of Honest.
Yep, sure. Keep walking. Either left or right, it's fine. Get grandma. Nice. Good. I like this here. I mean, this is just simple, you know. You take left, you deepen left, you deepen left, you deepen left, and you just kill everything that's along the way. You know?
It's Reaper, man. You don't have nothing to think about.
Yeah, nothing to think about. Just keep going.
I'm about to die. Just raise back to my
I will
team.
say your mechanics are pretty good with this character. Like it's an underrated aspect of this character because it's a difference between 2 shots and 3 shots of a kill. It's a big deal, big deal. And your mechanics are pretty good.
Yeah, I like Reaper a lot actually. He's my like break glass in case of emergency character.
And you can even do cute stuff like this mid-fight with the teleport changes, right? So you look at this and you're like, okay, this isn't gonna work. Just teleport. Teleport right here. You know, immediately, right? Immediately set up your angle. The animation is so much faster. Make it happen.
Hell yeah.
So whenever that's the equivalent of the triple blink setup, right? Except with Reaper, it's even better because you're not reliant off of your blinks also to duel.
Right.
So you can use that teleport to reposition.
Yeah, it's like
really
I wasn't really even using TP anyway. So.
This is fine. Good little short off angle. Do
Like
not chase it. Yeah, don't chase the Doomfist. Kill the Moira. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Good stuff. Beautiful. That's how you deny the Doomfist value, right? Cut off his lifeline. Cut off his blood. And then when he comes to you, Then you kill him. This is perfect. Let's watch one more. Actually, we're just gonna finish this, so why not? Sure. Only because there's nothing else for you to shoot right now, so you might as well chase a little bit. It's all right, right?
And they're low on time. I know I have ult. I can just like kind of hang out and just like, be a nuisance. Wait for TP even.
Yep. I didn't know the Genji was there, but you should still be okay. Yeah, you guys are cooked. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, you have less mobility, so that you had less opportunity to chase, but I think in general, the only real major mistake we had there was sometimes getting a little bit too much attention on the Doomfist. Similar to what we saw on Tracer, but... and then maybe like utilizing teleport mid-fight for setups when you don't like the angle that you're on.
Got you.